Guys, and today we'll be continuing Death Note. Okay. Last time on Death Note, Light killed everyone that even knew anything about the Death Note, pretty much, besides the squad he's in right now, but he's in control of, so it doesn't really matter. So Yotsuba, they are all dead. Namikawa, that sucks, boys. So he's dead. Iber, Weddy, they're all. And okay, I understand why it is. They are criminals. They are. And he's trying to make the world. He's clearing the world of evil, pretty much. That's his goal. So obviously they are criminals. So he dealt with them. But because I liked Namikawa a lot. I mean, I don't know. I just like the Yotsuba arc. I did. I like the theme. And it just kind of sucks because we're never going to hear it again now. Literally every member's dead. It's over. Everyone's dead. Iber, Weddy, they're all dead. I don't know where this is going, but... And on top of that, there was a montage at the end of... Well, there was a montage in the beginning leading up, showing us basically what Light was reading on the computer screen of what L had documented on Light. And it was crystal clear, basically stating that Light is indeed Kira. And at the very end, we see Light delete it. So all of L's accomplishments, pretty much, it seems like it's all been deleted. But then at the end, we got some weird then we got another montage of Light massacring, I don't know how many tens of thousands of people it is. And it did like a 5-year jump, because when the show started, Light was 17-ish, 17 and a half, 18-ish. And now he is 23 plus. He's like 20, he's 23. 23 something, I don't know, 23 and a half, I don't know. But at least he's 23. So that's about a 5-year jump. So about 5-ish years have jumped since that montage last episode. So I don't know, boys. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where Misa's at. I don't know where Mr. Yagami's at. Where the mom and sister are. I don't know. The task force, did they give up? I mean, Kira's been killing for 5 years. It seems like people kind of just gave up and are just accepting it. Is basically what it seems like. I don't know, but then we got this weird thing where it's like a countdown happened, and L's computer sent off information to I know I was saying the Whammy house. It's the Whammy or Whammy? I'm not sure. The Whammy house. It gets sent off to what was his name? Roger, I think. And I don't know. I'm assuming. Okay, I was a little confused by the ending of last episode, but when I edited last episode, it makes more sense. So whoever we saw, the kid that was sitting on the ground, kind of weirdish, kind of like he reminded me of L, but with whitish blonde hair. We see him in the opening. I mean, when we see it, I'll point him out. But that was 5 years ago, I think. I think that was either before or after the montage. I'm thinking it was before or after. I'm not sure. It might have been after. But anyways, I'm assuming those are now going to be the threat. I'm not sure. Alright, I'm going to start this in 3, 2, 1. Bam. Okay, this is where we're at now, I think. Who's he? I don't know. Who's she? I don't know. I want to know who she is. She looks super cool. And this is the kid I think that we see. Oh, we're back. Ooh. December 2000.
What did you say? He's dead? But how? Was it Kira? Did Kira kill him? Come on, Roger, you got to tell me. But he promised me he'd find Kira and execute him, and now you're telling me that he's been killed?
Mello? Wait, what? Who's Mello? This one or that one?
If you can't win the game, if you can't solve the puzzle, then you're just a loser.
Seems like something Elle would say.
Which did L pick, me or Nier?
Oh, Nier. Wait.
We haven't chosen yet.
Who? As his replacement? Near, that's such an edgy name. I love it.
It'll never work, Roger. We can't do this together. You know I don't get along with Neo. We've always competed against each other. Always.
These are such Oh, this is the new dude. Whose opening is this? Or theme? Ooh, this is so hype. These guys look so cool.
You know what?
Why is that an upside down cross? Did you see that? I don't think it's
He wants to succeed.
intentional.
He's not like me. He never gets emotional. He just uses his head like it's a game or a puzzle.
Just like L. Ooh, that's an L.
And as for me, I'm leaving this institution. Wait, Mello, don't waste your breath.
Some music.
15 years old.
Okay, okay, Mello's almost 15.
Living my own life.
A police officer who happened to be nearby on Higuchi's arrest overheard him talking about a notebook. If you write a person's name in it,
Oh!
the person will die.
So that's what you're saying is Notebook of Death actually is?
That's right.
Interesting.
The Japanese police should have it in their possession.
Dude, he is just like L. He sits, he does that cool sit. Oh gosh, I should be paying attention.
Christopher is all referring to as a fake. He was created by the Japanese police to avoid confusion and panic amongst the various international police agencies.
Nier is, well, in a sense you could call him the true successor to L.
I don't know if I'd go that far. There's no one. L is on his own. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Posting names and faces
Oh,
on
he
people doing that,
he looks older.
but I guess that's never gonna
Oh, Misa's still there. Cool.
information from the internet, so he's not gonna kill those people.
Matsu, you silly, you've got it all backwards.
Still, I can imagine how some people must feel. To them, the world's become a good place.
Oh, he looks sharper.
Any crimes.
Like a little older.
It's a good
That's
place
cool.
for innocent people who lead good lives. Look who's talking. It's more than that. Soon everyone in the world will think that way.
Weird. Misa looks different too.
How's it going?
We were just having tea.
Oh, Light, Misa. Seems like it's been forever, you two. Missed you guys.
Oh my gosh, he's all grown up.
Must be Mr. Matsuda, right?
Oh, that's me.
Oh, he's got. Oh, this is so cute.
Always taking such good care of my father.
Wow, she grew up nicely.
You're all
Nice.
and pretty. Last time I saw you, you were this big.
Matsu, your face is going bright red.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, no way.
Well, you can forget it. I'll never let Sayu marry a cop.
He looks older too.
I want that for my daughter.
Really? Oh man.
Ryuk don't.
Pose or even tell her I like her.
But of course, Light hasn't changed one bit. You're just as wonderful and handsome as when I first met you. You've a
So,
career and everything. Make it official. You should stop living together secretly and just get married already.
oh snap.
That's a great idea.
Does Light care for Misa still, or not at all, or what? You know what I mean? His hair is a lot more white or gray.
Yes. Right. Okay. We have to go.
I'm so scared.
Come with me.
Oh no, we've heard this song. Okay. Oh,
That was about 45
it's so weird seeing him now.
we were able to confirm that the call originated from the director's cell phone. Did the kidnappers make any demands in terms of ransom? They did.
He looks cool with facial hair.
The director for the notebook.
Who's behind this? And for what reason?
Do you think it's Kira? Maybe not. If the existence of the notebook has been leaked, there could be any number of people who want it for themselves.
Wait, hang on.
The one that he hid?
Did you say anything to the director about the notebook? We all agreed to keep the information between the six of us, so he didn't know, did he?
I never told the director, so he couldn't tell the kidnappers anything.
My name is John McEnroe. I'm an agent with the FBI. Of course, this is just an alias.
Okay.
My assignment involves Kira. It's a necessary precaution.
Kira? Due to unforeseen circumstances, the director is unavailable. If it's acceptable, you can speak with me instead.
Very well, that's fine.
Yeah, this sucks, dude. I feel bad for Mr. Yagami.
To us. So the FBI was behind it. Where did you take the director?
By the sound of things, it seems that the director of the Japanese police force has been kidnapped by someone.
How young is Nier?
Someone who wants the notebook.
Way younger than L,
All right, Commander Rester.
but just as weird.
Send this message through our agent.
Commander Rester?
Police would like to assist them in rescuing the director and apprehending the culprits. We'll take the notebook once we have the opportunity.
Roger that.
But didn't Mr. Yagami hide it? Do they even know where it's at?
We have new owners.
Who the heck? Is this Mello? Dude, who are you? Oh my god, it's her. Oh my gosh.
Decided to say anything yet. He told us
I think I'm falling in love, boys.
gonna wimp out of Kira.
Is this the first black guy in this entire
On the task force, Deputy Director Yagami would be the highest rank, right?
It's a guy.
My theory is that there are two notebooks out there. One of them is
Okay.
in Kira's possession, the other is with the NPD.
Yup.
We're gonna take both of them.
Don't worry. As long as we do what Mello said, no mistake. A year and a half since
It is Mello.
time, he's never been wrong about anything.
It's not just the notebook I'm after. I want to eliminate the competition.
Well, Mello is very pretty.
Best. I don't care what it takes. I'll beat Nier by any means necessary.
This is the what I thought was the girl in the opening, right? Why is he so pretty? Oh man, he's so cool. So is this Mello's theme? Never heard this song either. Is he in a library? Wow, this is weird. Look at the background. It's like a season 2 feeling. Not like a different art, because the background's entirely different as well. Are they... Gosh, is that really a... I'm so confused.
Can't you see that I'm busy?
I'm sorry, but Eddie and I were talking for a minute, and it looks like Takemura hung himself with his tie somehow.
Okay, well, that was a light.
Just great. What are we supposed to do with a dead hostage?
No, this'll be just fine. If Kira is responsible for this, we know he can't touch us since he doesn't know our names or faces. That's why he went after Takemura instead. That means Kira is someone who knows about the kidnapping. That should make things really interesting.
Dudes, I can't.
I'll tell you.
Oh my god.
Kidnap Soichiro Yagami's daughter, Sayu Yagami.
I'll be a good girl and go to bed by myself, okay?
Yeah, good night.
Night, everyone!
Guess I'll hang out around here. It just occurred to me, we're not the only ones in danger here. Our families are at risk.
Oh man.
Director's cell phone. It must be the kidnappers. Quick, eyes on. Got it. Tracing.
I feel bad for Sayu.
Look, about trading the director in exchange for the notebook, the deal's been canceled. Takemura is dead.
You bastards! What did you do?
It's only canceled, though, regarding the director. The new deal is this. The notebook for Sayu Yagami.
Oh man. Oh no.
Director of the Japanese police. It would be stupid to ask you not
I'm scared for Light or Kira.
to handle this on your own without backup.
Dude, the show feel. This is weird. The show feel. I mean, it's a 5-year time jump. Makes sense.
The director's death is an opportunity to get to Sayu. Looks like
This isn't the time, Ryu.
Can't believe they go this far. Damn them.
This is starting to mess with Kira's family. This might not be good for Kira.
You usually never call from your
You know what I mean?
Something the matter? Sayu?
I don't know. Now that you mention it, she is late coming home.
right, and we can't take that chance.
it's kind of cool. Ryuk, I mean, he's a Chad. He's been here for 6 years or so with, Light.
I see.
The matches.
The kidnappers, of course. Who else? It'd be interesting if it turned out to be Kira.
That looks like Iber,
That's a fair
doesn't it?
point.
Weird.
Police won't be trading
Not
weapons
Iber, never mind.
just
Uh,
protects Kira's interests. And if it is in fact Kira, we can narrow down our list of suspects in the field.
Oh, I'm at Ray Penber. Ray Penber.
Have you been able to determine his whereabouts yet?
Not yet. We were able to confirm that he left the Abduction 4 years ago, but nothing beyond that.
Very well. That clinches it.
What?
No, you never change. You always overlook the most important things because you let your emotions get the better of you.
That's why there's black people. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying I've never seen a black person in this show.
Sayu.
Hey, Chief. We've narrowed the call down to 5th Street in L.A. I just checked out the show that was playing in the background.
Wow.
It's being broadcast right now on a local LA station. They must have shown us that so we know the photo is recent.
To Los Angeles. It's my decision, both as Deputy Director of the Japanese Police Force and as Sayu Yagami's father. I'll take full responsibility for the consequences. That's my final word.
Wait, Dad. Before we do anything, we have to come up with a plan. He's right, Chief. We can't rush in.
But I have to be in LA in 2 days. We don't have time.
He's left-handed.
Yes?
This is Al.
I don't believe it. It's Sal.
I've already heard what investigator
They're not gonna believe that.
Larry Connors had to say to Deputy Director Yagami in regards to the notebook and the Kira case.
I'm pleased to meet you at last, L number 2.
Number 2? What do you mean by that? Who is this?
There's really no point in trying to hide it. We are a new organization known as the SPK, or Special Provision for Kira. It was established to find and capture Kira without the help of L. You can address me as
I knew it. I was gonna say, is he gonna go by N? Because so is his name really Near? Ooh, that's a cool shot. Oh no! Don't show him. I can't do it. Oh, that was such a cool shot. What's up with the music? Everything's looking different. Am I freaking out? Doesn't everything feel different? Like the to be continued in the past like 3 episodes, that there was no more rules for the Death Note. It was just said Death Note, but it's like it's been reopened. Does that make any sense? Like we're seeing. I didn't see the rules, so they might be repeats, but like it even looks different. And that's cool. As soon as Nier or N talked, Light knew immediately. He got the feeling or like the same spirit or energy as L. So in a weird way, I know I'm talking right now still during this, but I feel like it's gonna be like he's probably gonna be I don't know happy, but he's gonna get excited again because he's got an opponent. You know what I mean? Well, he's got 2 actually. All right, boys, there is a lot going on. This literally feels like if the story of Death Note was longer, this feels not even like a new arc. This feels like a season 2. Like this feeling is way different than when we got into the Yotsuba arc. Remember how I was like, whoa, the show feels entirely different? This feels way different than even then. Like, I mean, besides the fact that everyone pretty much besides Ryuk and Light doesn't look too different, but he almost does. I don't know how to explain it. He almost seems less lively. It almost seems like he doesn't look like he's decaying. I don't know how to explain it because he's not obviously decaying. He's human. You know what I mean? But it almost feels like he's like darker, not like physically. I don't know how to explain like his like aura. He just feels darker, and he looks sharper. I don't know. He does look a little different, but besides that, everyone else looks a lot, not a lot, but they do all look noticeably different. The mom, not really. She looks a tad older, obviously, because it's been 5 years. Mr. Yagami, obviously, his hair is now more gray than it is blackish brown. Sayu, I didn't even, when she walked in, I'm like, who the heck is this? But then I thought it was one of Misa's friends, but no, dude, she's just, she grew up, like, up. She looks tall, too, like, it might have just been because everyone else was sitting. She looked like she was about 6 foot plus. Like, she almost looked taller than Light. I mean, I don't know. We didn't see Light standing next to her, but she looked really tall. And she's pretty, so that's cool. So it was December 2007 is the first time we saw Nier and Mello. And that's when they got notified that L was dead. Okay, so what it seems like is, once again, I can't recall if I mentioned this or not, but you know how Light, I mean, he's not immortal. He can still physically die. He's still in a human body. Kira is still in a human body. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, if you know he died, he's starting to, you know, he's like 80 or something, dying of old age or something. He obviously needs to pass this torch along. You know what I mean? So that's what I was wondering. I don't know. I don't remember if I mentioned it last episode or not, but I was thinking this. So he's obviously gonna need he's gonna need to pass the torch at some point. You know, the Death Note. Because if he can find another Misa, someone who's not like had her life cut in half, find another person who is that willing to serve Kira, and then pass the book along. Make sure they're, you know, very smart. Like, Misa is very clever as well, but try to find someone that's like, you know, obviously he's got to find someone that's like smart, clever like him. Like, find an L, or I guess a Nier, who supports Kira, and then he can pass the book along. Anyways, I mean, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if I said that or not, but that's what I'm thinking for this. So it seemed like L seemed like he was either, dude, that's so cool though, because he sits like he sits like L. It's so cool. But yeah, so it seems like either L, I don't know why they're so smart. For whatever reason, Nier seems extremely smart, like L smart, which is, I'm kind of spooked, because I mean, I like Kira, or Light. I mean, man, he's like more Kira than Light now, and it's so cool. Ryuk, he's just a real G. He's really just chilling with a human for 5+ years now. He's just vibing. That's so cool. I almost wonder if, because you know it, Rem, she obviously cared a ton for Misa. Literally sacrificed her life for Misa. And they didn't know each other that long. Maybe like a year and a half. Maybe, yeah, like a year and a half. No, not even. I'll say a year tops. Ryuk has known Light now for 5+ years. So because of that, I wonder if he'll ever get the same feeling, like, as into protect Light, almost. You know what I mean? I don't know, because it doesn't seem like he really cares still, but he might. You know what I mean? Like, something happens, maybe Ryuk takes one for the team. I don't know. I mean, who knows? We don't know yet, but... And I was wondering that because he's still with him. It's 5 years later. I know he kind of has to, but I know he seems to be chilling, so that's cool. Anyways, where the heck was I? Oh yeah, anyways, so how old is Nier? Because it's 5 years later. If I had to guess, I would say 13. It's just a random guess, 13. Because he's younger than Light. I mean, he's younger than L. and he looks younger than L. I don't know how young L was. We don't really know much about L. But yeah, I feel like Nier's 13 or lower. I don't think he's any older than 13. He just doesn't seem like it or sound like it, really. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of surprised the task force is still all there. All the members are still there in the task force. After the 5 years of literally, they're getting nowhere, because who they're hunting is literally the head of the task force. So they got nowhere in the past 5 years. They're literally just watching Kira kill people. So everyone thinks they're a joke. I'm surprised they're still all there. But yeah, they're all there. So a new task force has been the SPK, Special Provision of Kira? Yeah, Special Provision for Kira. That's the new task force, SPK. And yeah, I'm more interested now in L's past than ever, because I mean, who is it? Roger who taught L, and then I guess Nier. I mean, why? Dude, there's something weird. Is Nier? I mean, obviously, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Nier almost has to be related to L. The weird shaggy hair, almost like he just doesn't care how he looks. Wait, is Nier not wearing shoes? I don't think Nier's wearing shoes either, boys. He sits just like L. He literally... Dude. So, unless there's some weird programming that L went through that made him the way he is, and that's how Nier is the way he is now, it's either that or they have to be related. Because he even sits like L did, and he has no shoes on. And he's extremely clever. And he's... Yeah, I don't know. I'm very interested in the past of them. Man... And just that photo at the end. That's such an epic photo. Man! Oh, I love L. Dude, that sucks so bad. And Watari? We don't really have a Watari yet. I mean, I'm never gonna say Nier's the replacement for L, because I don't really know Nier that much. And he's got a lot to live up to L, for sure. But it seems like Nier's taken the role as L right now, obviously. But there's no replacement for Watari. At least we don't know really of yet. Alright, we're going to discuss Mello now. Dude. Is this really a guy? Dude, Mello is so... Alright, okay, anyways. So, Mello, they're in Los Angeles. I knew immediately something was up because the people that Mello is with, I mean, just looking at them, there's a black guy with them. I know that sounds bad. It's not, but think back. Just think back, though. Have you seen a single black person this entire show? I'm genuinely trying to think. I don't... There has to have been one at some point, right? I don't know. I can't think of any, but when I noticed that and even the way they're dressed and like where they were, something looked off. I was confused. I'm like, who the heck are these people? Because they are very distinct. This just sounds terrible the way I'm saying, but like, it's because they're not in Japan. They're in Los Angeles. So and this is also kind of cool too, because Mr. Yagami's obviously going to Los Angeles, and I'm assuming Light will follow. And something's gonna happen, because the thing I've been wondering last episode going into this one, I think a lot about this show. And also, I rewatched the entire show and got up to the previous episode too. So like, I kind of got super refreshed and absolutely everything. It's only been less than a week anyways, but like what I was thinking is Light in the current state is he is not touchable because of the fact, not the fact that alone that he has the Death Note, but he has also Misa who has the eyes. So with that, the fact that they now have to go to Los Angeles to save Sayu, I'm assuming Misa won't be coming along, most likely, because of just some reason. And because of that, Light won't be able to easily finish them off. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. And this is also interesting too, because we know Nier. I mean, we know his actual name right off the bat. That's one thing we never got really with L. You know what I mean? We just always knew him as L or Ryozaki. You know what I mean? Or Ryuga. But I don't know. Is Nier his real name? Because that's like beyond edgy, but I kind of like it. His name is really Nier. That's cool. I mean, are they cover up? No, I don't think so, because they're just straight up talking to Roger when using the names Mello and Nier. So I think they just really are those names. I really like the name Mello too. Dude, every time I watch that opening, I'm like, who the heck is that girl? She looks cool. Who is that girl? You guys had to have been cringing, right? Okay, it doesn't matter, I guess, at this point, but wow. This is weird, dude. Doesn't it? This almost, the beginning of this episode almost feels like when a show's canceled and like 5 or 6 years go by and then they like not relaunch the show, but continue it. But like everything is kind of a little different because obviously time jumped. Well, obviously time jumped. 5 years went by. But you know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. Even like the I don't know what it's called in shows, but like when they do like the half sequence, they usually will say like the name of the show, or they'll like display something. I don't know, the mid-credit scene or something. I guess the mid-credit scene, maybe. Even it looks different. And I just watched the entire well, not the entire, up to this point again, but I mean, like I just said a second ago, and I don't remember the midpoint scene ever changing its appearance. It heavily changed its appearance. It's like red and almost like dark, like demonic-ish. It's like red and weird. I don't know, but Mello and Nier also got some really amazing themes. I got a problem when it comes to themes in this show, dude. I love the music in this show, dude, is so good. Like, I literally have a playlist on Spotify. It's just Death Note. I don't know, dude. I got a problem. But so Mello is 20 now. 2021. Because of the fact that he was 15-ish 5 years ago. So he's like 20 something now. He's 20, like he's 20. And we find out Nier is left-handed. I don't know, I'm just so intrigued by that. I don't know why. I always find that interesting. What hands they are writing with in this show. I don't know why. God, man. There is still a member we don't know from the opening. It's the, at least I don't think so. In the opening, you see, there might still be 2 members that we actually don't know. I can't believe that's Mello. Whatever. But, okay. So, yeah. Okay, who is this? Do we know this guy? I don't recall seeing this guy this episode. So maybe we don't know of him yet. I don't think I don't know. I'm worried now, boys. I guess I can't tell who's who anymore. But I mean, I'm assuming this is a girl. I don't think we've seen her yet. There's 2 people we still don't know. It's the girl, and it's the guy. I still don't know. I don't think. Maybe that guy with the glasses is going to be like the new Watari. I'm not sure. But doesn't... I don't know. We obviously don't know much about Nier or Mello. But if I had to guess of one of them, Mello would just straight up use the Death Note. If I had to guess. He'll just straight up use the Death Note. He seems kind of... I don't know if the right word's unhinged, but he kind of does. Like, he'll just do it. Like, he doesn't... He's... Like, he's still trying to do... I'm getting, like, a weird vibe of, like, L and Light. How they're both trying to kind of do... They're both doing the right thing, but they're doing it in their own ways. You know what I mean? Like, Nier is literally doing what L did. But... Mello isn't necessarily doing what Light was doing, but he's doing kind of what L or Nier did, or is doing, but like his own, not purish way. Like, they're both justice. I mean, I don't know. It's very, I'm not sure really with Mello, honestly. He seems not necessarily the best person. But he is still trying to get the Death Note. So I think he's maybe still trying to do the right thing, but he's doing his own kind of way. Like, Light is making the world a better place, but by killing people. So, maybe? I don't know. And I was trying to pay attention to their auras. They didn't really show... We saw Light's aura. It's pure blood red. Nier... I don't recall if we ever saw Nier's aura. Did we at the end there when they were talking? It's white. Is his aura white? I don't think we got an aura for Nier yet. But if I had to guess, it's going to be blue or like white. Because not every character in the show has a red or blue aura. One of the... Matsuda has a yellow aura for some reason. His aura is yellow. I don't know why. And... yeah. Light's is always red. L's was always blue. Matsuda is yellow. I don't know why. And maybe Nier's is going to be silver. From the way Mello is acting, though, bruh. Probably red. Dude, I like him so much. Why does he have to... Yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm getting worried for Light. Because he seems to have it always under control for the most part. Besides L, obviously, because L's amazing. But now that his family is getting involved, it's getting messy. Because now Kira's, like, supposedly... I don't know. It's... something's gonna happen that he's gonna get found out, I feel, is what's happening, because it's gonna look like Kira's now protecting the family when people start dying around Sayu. It's gonna look sus. So, I don't know. I don't know how the heck Light's supposed to do this. And face off against Nier and Mello. And I guess the SPK, which I guess is kind of Nier, but he's got his own task force. Mello, I don't know, he's got like thugs with him. And they're in Los Angeles, so he's going to be out of his element. I don't know, boys. And I'm assuming Misa won't be there. Dude, this show is so good. I love this show so much. Dude, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if these are new rules exactly. They don't look like new rules. But, I mean, just besides that, look at the background. It's so, like... It almost reminds... It doesn't seem like... You know how Ryuk said the Death Note kind of changes you? Light also mentioned that. I feel like it kind of is. And this is kind of like a slow progression. Well, now that 5 years went by, it's very noticeable how much it's changing. And it's almost like consuming. It kind of seems like it's almost consuming Light. Just the way he is. But it's like, it's very subtle. But it's kind of almost noticeable. I don't know how to explain it. But it looks like it's becoming more Shinigami-ish. I don't know how to explain it. But it's obviously noticeably different. Very interesting. And is Roger even alive? Roger's the old guy, by the way, that was talking and that told Mello and Nier that Ella's been killed. So, I don't know. We don't really know much about Roger. Is he even alive? Probably. I mean, it's only been 5 years. I mean, he might be dead. I don't know. But also, since Watari, I guess Roger's his brother maybe, or works with Watari at some point. I don't know, but I'm assuming the money behind L and Watari is now with Nier, if I had to guess. So obviously I'm assuming Nier's got power. You know what I mean? He's probably got the majority of the power L had. It's just interesting. We got quite a few new characters this episode. And everyone looks different too. It's cool. Alright, yeah, I guess I'm in here, boys. Fantastic. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.